Next is from Forrester Grillo. Subject is, what is success? Regardless of what you think personally about the quality of the booking or the matches, there's no denying that All In at Wembley Stadium is an awesome thing to be happening. Joe, by the way, look up the numbers of how much, as of right now, how many tickets have been sold. Okay? Question is, though, guys, should AEW really be celebrating it? Dave Meltzer himself said in his latest stream that AEW tickets in America still aren't selling. They're charging less per ticket than they did last year, and we can all see that the TV ratings aren't good, whether there's Dynamite or Collision. Despite all this, they finished first for the night. Good line there, by the way, buddy. Forrester Grillo. P.S. One more point. When WWE did their show Wembley in '92, that was a smaller original venue. WWE have never done a show in the new version of Wembley, so can AEW really boast about outselling WWE in London when those seats don't even exist back in '92? That's like saying Adam Cole versus MJF is a bigger draw than Queen, Led Zeppelin, or Rolling Stones. Okay, Forrester Grillo, you're being too critical here, okay? Nobody is, AEW should be celebrating it. It's one of their only metrics they have right now that's worth celebrating because, like you said, their ticket sales in the States aren't doing well and their numbers aren't doing well. So as a company, if you're trying to promote a company, what's the one metric you want to promote? That's this show, breaking records and stuff. And I said, I was on record that they would do 50 to 60,000 and, quote, I would not be surprised if they did 90 and sold it out. Okay, because you have a very passionate. Actually, I would suggest that the UK indie show fan base is more passionate than the United States fan base indie shows because they're kind of it's the English soccer crowd experience. They do a lot of chants at the shows, a lot of like it's a different experience than it is in the States.
And they like when you pay attention and give them something like TNA and Impact did. Right.
Crowd participates more in the show than the indie shows here. It's just that's just the way it is. So you knew because it was doing a big arena that every indie fan, because it's only one show, they're doing a one-off. They're coming over here. It's been 4 years since AEW's been around, and they're coming over here for the first time. So you know that, like, okay, we've been waiting for an AEW show. Like, okay, well, let's do it in Wembley. And Tony Khan crossed his fingers and hoped that they sold enough. But it's like you could see that they would probably sell that many because everybody's coming from all over the place for this. And so like I said,
for them to miss flowers on that one.
Yeah,
there's 80,000 is 80,000. Any arena manager in the world that sees that number, even though they don't know what AEW wrestling is, he's like, what? You know what I'm saying?
Exactly,
that's 80,000.
It's very clever because you put it in like you just have one. You're not doing a tour. Okay, if you want to come see us in the UK, you got to come to Wembley. Okay, it's a 7-hour drive.
Right.
Probably 10 to 15,000 people do a 7-hour drive.
Right, and
probably 20,000 people do a 2-hour drive. So it's
and the great thing about London is you got people coming from France, from Germany, from Ireland, from Scotland, even from Italy, all of Europe, bro.
All of Europe. Even they're not announcing a second show in the this is one show. We're doing Wembley. Okay, but it's coming. Smart.
Yeah, you don't know when the second show might happen. Right.
They can literally probably do twice a year in Europe at a major stadium venue, and everybody in Europe, like SummerSlam and WrestleMania, will probably gravitate and go to that show, and they'll have a very good visual to show in the future, like for their stuff to show that, like, hey, look at all the people here, So
So it says currently, this is from WrestleTix. All In has distributed 80,846, which passes the number of tickets distributed for WrestleMania 32.
I don't care, bro. I don't care about all that.
Now listen, listen.
I don't look at this as competition. Like, they're doing a huge show.
Noted in the thing, but there's 4,626 available.
Right.
And Dave Meltzer says that they gotta sell that in the next 9 days, or now it's the next 5 days or whatever, to break the actual paid attendance mark. Because there's a difference between, as you've said, Di.
I don't care about
number of people in the building, and official attendance numbers. Which
you're talking attendance records. That's completely meaningless. It's like those are metrics like you're a Hall of Famer in wrestling where there's no actual Hall of Fame. I did a speech and everything. So it's like but bro, it's like I said. I said this is one, like, people say I call me an AEW hater or something. I said this all along. You can do stuff like this, like your first show in places, you're going to draw massive audiences. The problem with AEW is they keep going back to the same well. They keep going to Chicago. It's like they find these areas where they're good because, like, if they do a show in Chicago, people are going to come all around Chicago. They're going to come to that show. Like AEW, the problem with their fan base is here in the States, and the reason they do half as many people as the WWE fans is that they have a lot of like, what's the word I want to use? Like their big shows. There's a considerable amount of people that go to all of their big shows, like the same fans. The same fans will go to a show in like the tennis stadium show. This will be a lot of the same fans will go to Chicago. All the dirt sheet guys and all the Mark podcasters all go to the shows. When, it's like the whole community of like indie wrestling. They'll travel for these shows. The problem is now it's been 4 years. They've been to these places over and over, and it's like you kind of lose a luster. Well, now you have a spot where you're going for the first time ever, so you're going to draw a massive audience. Probably, like I would say, like if they ran Wembley, like per example, if they ran Wembley next month too, it would probably do like 20,000 people. Because like, okay, we went, we saw it, stuff, but now it's like you can't do that again a month later. Can you do it a year later? Absolutely. 6 months later, maybe. But absolutely, you can go and do major shows in markets where you never go, and everybody will show up, which has been proven. I said this would happen too, so I'm right. Would you agree, Konnan, that I was correct about this?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. All right. Go play that. I want you to play that clip in the at the beginning of the mark that and play that. Record that, by the way.